Hello, everyone. Thank you for waiting. Sorry about that. Can you hear me? Hey, thank you for the resub. Clyer, 7 months. Thank you very much. What's up, everyone? Hello. Happy Friday. It's been a while. How we doing today? Everyone chilling? Hello, Tayson. Hello, everyone. Thank you for waiting. God, I had to do so much shit to get this stream working right now. I had to update OBS like 3 times. I had to update my drivers, my video drivers on my other computer. I don't know. Oopsie. Yeah, Connor, this song is great. This is the menu theme of Star Fox 64 for anyone who was wondering. It's beautiful. Here, listen. Let's listen for a second, shall we? Looks like this. Gorgeous. Oh my god, 22 months. Connor, thank you. So it's appropriate that it's spacing you out, right? Because it's a space game. Get it? Alright. Well, thank you guys for waiting. We're a bit late to the punch here, so I'll go ahead and dive right in. So today I'm mostly going to be talking to you guys. What's up, Raven? About kind of the plans for the update, and I have like an upcoming vacation. For those of you who don't know, yeah, of course, new Wildlander main menu. For those of you who don't know, I've essentially been racing to get this update to my team, at which point the plan is to... I've been trying to take a vacation since the launch of Wildlander because, if I'm honest with you guys, I'm very tired. I've been working very, very hard on it to try and, you know, fix up anything that's still kind of a pain in the butt. Just smooth out the experience so that I leave it in a really good spot for when I take like a little bit of a break. I don't think I've taken a break in a very, very long time, so I'm very excited for that. I would like to talk to you guys about kind of the timeline, what some of the last improvements are going into this update, and kind of what I'll be doing after the fact once I get back. Yo, thank you very much for 10 months, Prince Wolfchild. Hey, Hype Train, what's up, y'all? Thank you very much. Thank you very much to all of you. Oh my god, Connor, thank you for 5 gifted subs. Yo, dude, 70 subs gifted. That's crazy. Thank you very much, Tayson, Scouty Doggy. I'm really happy with how this update is coming along. It's obviously kind of ballooned into this much bigger, bigger update than a hotfix. But I just really wanted to leave the game in a state where everything that's in there, works well and just it's a really positive experience. So we've got a lot of fixes going into this update. And also some new features that I think are really going to improve the experience. I would say, so the last thing that I've been really kind of like gunning towards, this is kind of like the last task of the update, and this is what I've been working on lately for the past basically week or so, is it's kind of like this pincer move, right? It's a 2-pronged task. One goal is to address what I feel is kind of like the last big issue for me personally in the current version that's not addressed by the hotfix yet, by the update, and that is the NPC appearances. Many of you who put this over there. Many of you who follow my work know that I'm very particular about, I guess a lot of things, but NPCs in particular. I want them to be contiguous. I want them to be consistent. I don't want them to look out of place. I think we've done an okay job with this, with the first build, but I think we had a ways to go in getting NPCs to both not look over beautified and also look consistent relative to each other. I think there's a certain problem that can occur when you use a wide variety of NPC overhauls that all kind of have their own style, is you'll look at 2 different characters and they might look great in the abstract or in a vacuum, but next to each other it almost looks like they belong in 2 different games, right? So fixing that problem was priority number 1. And, well, actually, you know what? No, we'll call that priority number 2. Priority number 1, the reason that I bothered to do this at all, is because as I was building out, actually, the Wabbajack file, oh, thank you, Raven. as I was building out the Wabbajack file. Yeah, a big round of applause for Connor. Thank you. He's just pretty much nailed this hype train. The real impetus for this was that I really wanted to cut down on the file size. The NPC changes, updates, mods, whatever you call them. Yo, thank you for 5 gifted subs, Scouty Doggy. They take up a lot of space. The reason for this is that, in fact, actually here, I can, I should have my old stager where you can see. I gotta close this mod organizer, actually. Here, let me bring up, I made like a little agenda to-do list. MS Paint to-do list. This is what we're gonna be talking about today. Let me bring this up. I'm gonna give you guys an example of just how much space is being wasted by these NPC overhauls. I shouldn't say wasted, but it is wasted in a sense because, okay, so this is all the NPC overhauls we had installed, right? Or that we would do. Oh my god! Ravensbury, thank you for 5 gifted subs. Y'all, much appreciated. You are too kind. I think we just maxed out the hype train, I'm pretty sure. Let's see, that's gotta be level 5, right? Did we get a level? No, level 4. Wow, hype trains are wild. Much appreciated. So we use all of these. Yes, there are more subs than messages. Did I check the mod? Yes, I did see that, Madmen, and that one went immediately on the list. I usually have my thumb on the pulse of those kinds of things. Either I'll see it myself, or the team will let me know, or one of the users will let me know. Yo, thank you, Monique. Thank you for 4 months. Now we got... Wait, okay, we did get level 5. I was like, there's no fucking way we didn't. Nice, level 5 hype train, y'all. Right when we kick it off. That's great. Yeah, so we have all these NPC overhauls. And in order to cut down on space, most of these are actually, these folders are empty or almost empty. And the reason for that is that we don't really need them because we have the NPC merge that kind of yoinks all of the files that you need from the NPC things. Actually, the only reason I kept these here is because I needed to find a way for the authors to still get, you know, a download credit and like a... like so their DP is properly calculated and all that. The downside to all this is that for each one of these, even though the install folder is empty, you still have to download the archive behind it. And some of these archives are really big, y'all, and some of them are like hyper inefficient. For some of these overhauls, they're huge, but I only use like a handful, right? Or for some of them, like a good example would be, where's the Terry? Endari and Terry. Yeah, Terry and Endari reimagined. So this is a mod that it's excellent work, but it edits the appearance of 2 characters, and the archive itself, the download when sitting in your folder, is like big. It's like, you know, I think it's something like 100 I don't know, like 200 megabytes or something like that. It's big for like 2 characters, and you have a lot of stuff like this, right? And then that doesn't even count the final NPC. Anyway, this is all just a very long-winded way to say I was looking at this right before I generated the Wabbajack file, and I was just like, I can get this down, right? I can make this way more efficient. And I kind of came up with a method thanks to, we owe a big round of applause here to Parapets. Y'all know Parapets. Parapets is a modding wizard who has come up with so many incredible stuff. We don't support pirated versions at all, so I apologize, but we're not going to be able to give you any resources on that. I gotta nip that in the bud. No worries. The solution that I came up with, I think it's pretty cool. Basically, thanks to Parapet's excellent face discoloration fix, for those of you who don't know, that is basically an SKSE plugin that prevents the tinted face bug. Its primary goal is to just like sweep up any characters that don't have the proper face tint data assigned. What I'm using it for is actually to calculate all face tint and face mesh data on the fly, which means not only do you not have to download the archives that contain all of those resources, I still have you guys download stuff from their pages, but I have you downloading like little patches, so it's like 1 kilobyte, right? That way the authors still get credit for the download. But instead of having to download these massive archives and then, you know, utilize all this face data, which itself takes up a lot of space. Like, I'll give you an example. If I go to, let's say, Northbourne, some of the Northbourne series, I use a lot of these. The Rift is a pretty big one. Whiterun Hole would be pretty big. How big are these? That one's empty? Why are these empty? Oh, this is the stager, that's why. Whoops. Hold on. We got, so this one, Falkreath, is 500 megabytes almost, halving R, 2.33 gigs. This is installed on disk. 2 gigs, you know, again, these get cleared out a little bit, but the size of them, everything that's here gets incorporated into the NPC merge, and we don't need to do that anymore. So all of the gigs that you're seeing here, all the data is just completely, we don't need it. It's just nuts, right? Like, it's a huge, and we also don't have to download these massive archives, even though they still get credit for the download. So to me, it's kind of like a really solid system. And I'll show you guys what the characters look like, because now I generate all of the characters based on, it's really flexible too. I can like change everything about the NPCs. I can easily change hairstyles that don't fit. I can change like face makeup. I can change like pretty much anything about these NPCs that I want really, really easily. And all of it is just generated on the fly in order to save space and create this kind of like consistent, you know, feel. So I'll hop in game and I'll show you guys kind of what that looks like. And I'm curious as to exactly how much space we're gonna save. I don't really know yet. I'm gonna have to generate the Wabbajack file when all is said and done, but I would not be surprised if it's anywhere in the ballpark of like 20 to 30 gigs. I'm hoping that that'll be like what it is, and that, you know, we have like a 150 gigs requirement right now, which is still, I'd like to at least get us down to like Call of Duty Warzone levels, right? Because 150 gigs, I know that's 150 gigs is not a lot compared to the other packs that are available, but it's definitely a lot compared to like games, you know what I mean? 180, there you go. See, that's ridiculous. And you can delete the downloads, but that's kind of like a pain in the ass, because then you got to re-download some of them when you update. It kind of sucks. So to me, it was worth it to take the extra week and get this feature in there, because it not only cuts down on file size significantly, it also, to me, improves the appearance in game, right? So we'll take a look at what that looks like right now. Yes, there's also like a couple thanks, Cisco. It's like, thank you very much. Yeah, so I got rid of also like some texture mods that were almost entirely being overwritten. There's also like further efficiency that I could achieve, I'm sure, in the future, but I don't want this, you know, to go too insane. And frankly, y'all, I need to get on this vacation. And yeah, Lizzie has been working on the wiki like just insanely. Like, you guys are going to be so impressed, I think. You could be able to see it right now, I believe. It's live, right, Lizzie? Like, it's not hidden. Just like a crazy volume of data that she's been pouring in. The launcher team has been working on the launcher, just adding features like in the background. It's really cool. I'm excited to kind of take, like, when I first released, I didn't want to take a break yet, because it's like there's still things we got to address, right? I'm just working to get this in a state where I would feel really comfortable taking a break and knowing that you guys are in good hands. I will show you kind of what we got going. So the NPCs, not all of them are fully adjusted. Generally speaking, if we find NPCs whose names are anywhere past the letter I, they're likely to not be fully adjusted yet. There is also the... Oh, actually, you know what, too? Hold on a second. I'm going to hide all these other... I gotta make sure I can show you guys kind of like what I'm doing here. So these entire folders can be hidden because they're gonna be gone. Those ones are already hidden. Halfingar, hide. And I've noticed this is something that's kind of weird. The Northbourne plugins contain like different face paint data than what they show in game, so it's really weird. Like I have to be extra careful there. What's up, Twiz? I saw someone mention Elden Ring too. Fun game, right? I wish I could play some more. I'm definitely going to on my time off, that's for sure. So this one's gonna be gone. It's like, let's see, this is what we're gonna be using by the end. It's gonna be Obscures, NPCO, TK Children, FHH. Yo, thank you for the gifted subs, Twiz. Much appreciated. We got the excellent Dylan James series. Basically, with almost no exception, the NPC overhauls that I'm using are ones that do not rely on like sculpted NPC faces. And what I mean by sculpted is that, like, y'all know how there's like the default head, right? And we use the high poly head in addition to the expressive face gen morphs, which to me just makes their faces so much more emotive and so much more well animated. It's like fantastic. That's one of the other benefits, is now all of the NPCs get to utilize those changes. But what some NPC authors do is they will go beyond the, you know, sliders and the adjustments that you can make in the game and in the creation kit and whatever, and they will sculpt the faces to get like a particular look. I find that a lot of the time that creates these really wonderful looking NPCs when they're still like in a screenshot or if you're not talking to them, but I think that there's like a certain facial stiffness that's associated with the sculpted faces in my experience. Some NPCs suffer from it more than other sculpted ones. Either way, as it is here, well, I'll just show you. We'll take a look at it in game and you can kind of judge for yourself how it looks. Okay, everything's hidden, I believe. I didn't miss any, did I? I love this song. This is the kind of stuff I listen to. I've been listening to this, and I've been listening to the My Hero Academia soundtrack while I work. Right now, there are 2 exceptions for characters who were still given their sculpted appearances. Can you guys guess who they are? No cheating. I'm going to scroll down, too, so you can't see. It's not Nazim. That's a good guess, though. That's funny. Milking cows does not yet require an empty bottle. I might be able to add that at the last minute. Ayala is one of them. Yeah, Nazim is pretty easy. He's got a very like easy to generate face. Wow, Clier got both of them. Yo, thank you for 2 months, Mr. Fieldbird. No, you will not be able to use your... I mean, you can try and use your existing save, but I think it's going to break everything. So, you know, feel free to try. It's your life. But I would strongly, strongly recommend making a new save. Yeah, Ayala and Serana. I left Ayala in. Basically, I mean, she looks great with Northbourne's edit. The sculpt, I think, animates well, and she just looks cool as shit. Yeah, I left Ayala in for Lizzie. That was our compromise. You guys are, if you like the NPC appearances, I was almost going to yeet all the stuff and just let the high poly head take over, right? All right, hold on a second. I'm going to pause my beautiful Star Fox music here. Pause. And then we're going to go here. Let me go back to OBS. All right, can you hear that? Skyrim. Let's see here. I will load. I have this really funny thumbnail of Maven. That's not what she looks like anymore, but I like this thumbnail. This will load up. I was like doing some testing. You can see how many different ESPs are no longer utilized. I'll show you. I believe Serana and Ayala should both load properly. Ayala won't load exactly properly because she doesn't have her face gen enabled right now, and she needs the face gen in order to get the sculpt, but she still looks pretty good, I think, even without it. So Maven actually is a very good example of the kind of like consistent art style that I'm talking about. So here's Maven, right? Say,
of course. Nothing gets done without my approval in this city. I have the Jarl's ear and the guards in my pocket. Anyone makes trouble for me and I pay a visit to the Thieves Guild. Make me angry and I contact the Dark Brotherhood.
She's so blatant.
You do well to remember that the next time you make such a
yeah, right? And she's not even the best one. So this is like the general... Let's go walk around Whiterun. Now, one thing I'll warn you about. I started to say this. It's possible that we'll encounter NPCs who randomly have just like hella face paint, and the reason for that, this is what I mentioned about the Northbourne plugins. For some reason, many of the NPC records contain a bunch of war paint entries, which is actually not unheard of. There are many vanilla characters, NPCs, that have a bunch of war paint entries, but they're all invisible because the alpha values are set to 0. It's almost as if the author of, I'm really not sure, maybe they did it for a specific reason, I don't know, but Southpaw, the creator of the Northbourne series, has a lot of these NPCs with just a bunch of war paint data listed, and they're all set to 255, which is the maximum possible alpha value. I'm wondering if they accidentally set them to 255, thinking that was totally invisible, versus 0, which is totally invisible. But so every once in a while, I'll encounter, I'm having to go back through and like manually delete these face tint. Oh yeah, well Balgruff, here I can show you what he looks like, because he's one of the ones I believe should be finished. Let's see, help. He's got B. When is the Fallout 4 mod list? Very unlikely that let me make sure that I have the right load order here. Just double checking. Okay, that'll be fine. Let's go help Jarl B. Nope. That'll do it. Place at me. 1 through DVD. There he is.
You should be talking to my steward.
See, he's a cool guy, right? So here's the, yeah, oh, Wastelander would be such a perfect, God, Monique, if I ever was going to do a Fallout 4 mod list, that is what I would call it. It is crazy. So yeah, so this is fucking cool, right? So here's one of the other ways in which I was able to cut down on file size. So the tool that we use, Easy NPC, to kind of extract all the data, or all the assets, and kind of pack them into one archive, what it does, the way that it works, is it essentially just says like, hey, you said grab Balgruff from this mod, you grab Maven from this other mod, you grab, Ayella from another mod. It takes all of the assets that each of those mods has and then kind of mashes them together into this convenient archive. That's a really great approach. One of the issues, though, and this is not something really that Easy NPC could easily solve, or like the creator of Easy NPC Focus Tents, I would be like very surprised if they ever bothered to do this, because it's such kind of like a niche issue. But so what you end up with is like a lot of mods, let's use the Northbourne series as an example, will include standalone a lot of the various like unique hairs and beards and things that they want for their characters. And that way, like this hair, for example, right? This is an Apache hair. Northbourne doesn't require you to have Apache hairs installed, because the Apache hairs author has given the Northbourne author permission to just include it in the mod, right? Which is great. The thing is, we're a mod pack, we all have the same files installed, and we have Apache hairs installed already. So for us, it's file size inefficient to have, 5 different instances of the Apache hair just because we use 5 different Northbourne mods. So part of the other work that I've been doing is just taking, for example, this is Northbourne Jarl Balgruff. It uses the Apache hair. I reroute it and say, hey, don't use the Apache hair from the Northbourne mod, just use the one that we already have installed. And that way we don't need all of those hairs installed 5 times. We only need it once. And we already have it for players to use in creating their own character. So it's all just about efficiency, right? So yeah, you got that. You get these awesome beards. I've been adding these beards to fucking all kinds of people. One issue that you might notice is that, look at, I might have to straight up replace the vanilla hairstyles. I have made them higher poly, but they're just kind of awkward. Like you can see this line like on our boy Mercurio's head, right? The reason that that's there is because it's just like the way that the vanilla hairstyles kind of fit on the head, even when they're higher poly. Actually, let's do TFC1. So we can, I can just use our own camera mode, right? So you can see that there's kind of a little seam in where it connects to the actual head. Some hairstyles show it off more obviously than others. And that really only is a problem because of the ENB, and specifically because of the ENB detailed shadows. Detailed shadows is really cool. It's what's responsible for stuff like this, where you get like these deep shadows from clothing or on their face. But you'll notice that if we turn off the ENB entirely, you almost can't even make out that issue at all. Or if we turn off the... Where is it? Detailed shadow. If you turn that off, did I miss? Oh no, it's still like pretty visible, to be honest with you. Is that the right setting? Whatever. Either way, it's kind of like an ENB thing. So what I'm thinking I might do is just replace all of the vanilla hairstyles like outright. There's a couple different tools that I can use to do that. I know that Lizzie and the rest of the team would be very happy if I did that, because they do not like the vanilla hairstyles, and I don't blame them. Some of them look better than others, for sure. Oh, is this Delphine? Yeah, okay, so Delphine is a perfect example of a character who should not have all of this face paint, but for whatever reason, like in the plugins, she does. It's kind of odd. That looks like a different Delphine, too. Vanilla hair looks like a broomstick. Yeah, so it's kind of nuts. I can show you, actually, what I'm talking about. Not sure if it's all that interesting to you guys, but we can look at it really fast. Just take 2 seconds, and then I'll go and show off some additional characters. 90% of my male NPCs are bald with beards. The male, I mean, that seems annoying. It's also far more noticeable when you're outside versus inside, I've found. But just in general, it kind of sucks, and it would be nice to get rid of, and I think we can do it. It's just a byproduct of the way that the vanilla hairstyles are designed. What's Delphine? 13478. 13478. Okay, so if we look at this, you go all the way down to the face tint data, which is at the very bottom. You can see here that Northbourne NPCs has all of these war paints, right? At least this one. So this, you'll find this value a lot, like war paint, Forsworn, tattoo, 255. I think the author meant to set this to 0, and I don't know why this is not represented in the face tint that is shipped with the mod. Like if I show you, let's see, she would be Whiterun, right? Let's go to textures, actors, characters, face gen data, face tint, Skyrim. What was she again? 13478. Okay, 000-13478. Okay, so this is what Delphine's face is supposed to look like, right? Yes, it is the classic Gandhi aggression bug. For those of you who are not familiar with that, that is a classic Civilization hilarious bug from the first Civilization, where Gandhi was supposed to have the least aggression in the entire game, but they set it to like whatever they thought like the highest setting was the lowest setting, right? So Gandhi just ended up being this massive warmonger in Civilization 1, and it kind of became like an in-joke for the rest of it. You can clearly see she's not intended to have all this face paint, but she does, and that's part of what I'm going through. Wait, really? Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was like confirmed. Oh yeah, so we've got Dindulad has been updated. We're actually at Cloud Ruler Temple. There's like a bunch of little tweaks. Oh, of course. Thanks for hanging out, Scouty Doggy, and thank you very much for the gifted subs. So Dindulad, some water changes. I think I mentioned that in the last stream. Y'all know how it goes, but let's go take a look at some. Set the game hour to. Well, let's go to the tavern actually. Oh, that's funny. Let's go to Whiterun Bannered Mare, so you can kind of. I think it's important. Oh, thank you, Pars. Thank you, Tayson.
Just stoke the fire. Take a seat and get cooled out.
Ah, gotcha, Charmbarian. Thank you. I was gonna say I was pretty sure. So like, here's an example. Here's John, right?
Kinsman.
Good guy, John. Everyone knows John Battleborn. So this is the. I'm pretty sure this variant is the wonderful Dylan James series. If y'all are just modding for yourself, I highly recommend all of these NPC mods. Northbourne's incredible. Dylan James mod's incredible. Dylan James in particular for this kind of like vanilla style. But so what you will see in general here, we'll go around and take a look at all these people. What I want you to look for is their facial animation. I want you to look for the consistency between their faces. What we should kind of see here is that the characters obviously do look distinct from each other, but they don't look like they all look like they're from the same game is the goal, right? Like nothing looks so out of place that it, you know, takes you out of the experience. Everyone should kind of look like they're from Skyrim, just a much improved version, right? Get a good example would be Alfhild. I don't know if she's in here yet. 1-3 BBO. Alfhild Battleborn. I'm very like selective with the hairstyles and stuff too, so only hairstyles that actually look like they're reasonable. I've added in for women a different set of textures so that you get this actual like realistic looking skin, and like, you know, not every character is all hyper make-upped out. Whoa. What are you doing, Hulda?
If it's work you need, how about chopping up some wood?
She's got some crazy lipstick on, but generally speaking, she should not look like over beautified. We got.
If it's work you're looking for, Hulda's the one to talk to.
Yes, ma'am. So sultry.
Now, please, no more questions.
Marcurio is with me because he's my go-to for follower testing, and I can't remember why I needed him for whatever I was doing on this file. We got this guy, Daynil. So like this is a generic NPC added by, I believe, Dawn of Skyrim, but with the way that we've distributed all this stuff, they get all the same bonuses that, you know, all the rest of these people do. We got Javier.
Need something?
No. Who else we got? We got Argonians. We got who? Uthgirds over here.
Want to hear a little Nord wisdom? You don't really know a woman until you've had a strong drink and a fist.
Her brows still need to be fixed. This is all like a work in progress, but hopefully this gives you like the vibe. Same thing. Alfina should not have these face paints. Those will get changed.
You need a drink,
but you can get kind of like, you know, what everyone looks like more or
Need
less.
something?
I like your hat.
Until next.
What is up, Great Peninsky?
I ain't done nothing.
Also, a lot of the time, Marcurio would be with me because I just load old saves. Excuse me when I'm testing. We got Mikhail.
By trade. Perhaps you've heard of me.
Yes, the no-name bug is fixed. That's a big one. We got Carlotta over here, it looks like. So the way I actually fixed that was not... instead of adding them to, like, the exceptions list or whatever, I actually just gave them all names, which was really fun to do. Make their skin color the same color as their face paints. Yes, of course, right? Fixed. This guy, who's barely even got eyebrows.
Until next time.
I like that song. Let's see, we can hop around to some other, Thank you so much, Raven. I'm glad that you have enjoyed it. Oh, one of the other things, too, it's still on here, but I've been trying to systematically remove the E&B lights from these candles because it just tanks my performance. I know that that's been the case for everyone else. Oh, really? See, I'm the opposite. I love it. I love coming up with the names. It's just like, I don't know. It's really fun for me. I like to, I mean, it's certainly more fun than like doing shit like I'll show you what I've been doing for these, right? Like using Delphine as an example. I basically get to like go through and, you know, make sure all the data is correct. For her, we're going to be using probably, okay, that's all correct. We can use a different skin, make sure the tint data, face morph, that's good, Northbourne, and then now I get to go through and remove these war paints. And like there's one, only 2,700 more to go. It's more fun than doing that, right? I try to think of a way to automate this too, but I just can't think of one because there's just too many individual changes that need to be made on like a per NPC basis. So it's just one of those things you got to do by hand. At least that's the best way I've come up with it. While we're here, I want to get hold of her correct face tint as well, just so I remember. Northbourne NPCs, face more texture lighting. NPC overhaul. I'm using... That's weird. No, Whiterun hold refine. That's where it's coming from. Okay. Let's do... What is... I can do either one, honestly. Let's do Northbourne's. We'll see how that goes. The same thing. Then I got to go down here and just double check. Yep, so you have all these face paints here that I'm pretty sure are supposed to be 0. And yet, they're not. Dirt. Okay, you can have some dirt. Yes. Well, so unfortunately, Pars, that would get rid of some of the face paints, but it would also get rid of the face paints which are intentional, and there's, you know, a few of those. And there's still quite a lot more that needs to be kind of done manually. Like, I'll give you an example. Let's go to, I don't know, wherever I last was. I think, let's jump to, I think, Ingyard. It's going to take a second since it's a big plugin. Do you think Alessia would be an appropriate name? Oh, yeah. I mean, you could do that, Pars. What I do is, I just go, Connor, okay. Not true. I go through, like, just repositories of, you know, it's like, oh, high elf names. Which, by the way, high elves have the weirdest names in, like, the Elder Scrolls series. Has anyone else noticed this? Like, canon names for high elves, I swear to God. There's, like, Glentilmo, or, like, Calselmo, or just, like, all these things that, I guess, to my ears just sound kind of weird for, like, a race of high elves who are, I'm gonna, like, I mean, I guess someone's name is not a reflection of, you know, whether or not they can be, like, genocidal, and I guess not every high elf is, like, genocidal, of course, the way the Thalmor are, but it's just kind of funny to me that, like, these names are so goofy, and yet they're out here essentially, like, trying to kill entire races of people. Ah, gotcha, Claire. Yes, I love Argonian names. They're fun. The actual Argonian names and, like, the nicknames, I think, are cool. Oh, whoops. Let me do this example. We're going to go to Ingyard, who is, I believe she's, like, yeah, Dawnguard lady. Is she correct? So this is all correct. This is not. I don't know who I was supposed to get here, but I'm just going to use her as an example. What I would do, since I already have a plugin entry for her, is, let's say I want to use Northbourne. This is what I would have to do. I go through, and, like, this you could kind of automate, like, part of this, but I've just gotten so fast at doing it manually that I just do it that way. Change this to my version of these head parts. I don't believe I'm going to keep that hairstyle. I remember hers, so I'm going to go here, hair female Nord, boom, change that. Make sure the colors are all correct, so I don't know why her hair color is this. Crime Faction Rift, that's all correct. And make sure the tint data and the face morph, blah, blah, blah. Go here, and then let's get rid of any war. Nope, war paints are all correct. And ipso facto, there's one, right? One down, 2,699 to go. It's not true, though. I'm actually, like, 1,400 of the way through. When I get into a groove, it's, you start to get good at it. All right, let's go check out Riften Bean Barb. Wow. Yeah, Horatio. Even that one's, like, more normal, I would say, than most high elves. Where we got? Whoa, I'm fast. Okay, these guys all hanging out. Yol
Need
here.
something. Until next time.
So yeah, you kind of get the idea. See, this guy's got a fucked up beard because we don't have the high poly processing for some of them yet.
Give me a stew. And make
The brows, same thing. Some of them will be missing their brows.
Sorry, I'm afraid I can't help you much right now. I'm currently in mourning. It's been good talking to you.
Of course. This guy, Kirava.
Got the coin? You're welcome here. Otherwise, hit the road.
One of the other things that I did was, oh look.
You look like you could use a drink. What do you say to some cheap mead? Remember, keep
So yeah, ideally, like I said, these characters should all just look like they belong in the world. Lewis the Trush, everyone's favorite.
I need someone to
They should
deliver a
look
message
good.
to
They should
City
look
Black
distinct.
Rock.
They should not look like over beautified. They should look like residents of Skyrim, and they should all animate consistently and feel like real people. You know? Oh, I can't open this. I didn't expect that to be locked. Oh well. The other thing. Let's go to. Oh God, what is the name? Vampire Castle Guild Hall, I think. Yep. Getting rid of the vampire eye glow was harder than I expected. Oh, actually, you know what? I will need to double check that this is correct. I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna exit out here. Oh, whoops. Okay. Well, I'll have to remember that. That's right, because I have Skyrim going. That's not a big deal. Let's go here, and this actually, so the eyes are going to glow right now. I need to change this out. They'll glow a little bit. Not a ton, but a little. This man. Wow. That's not what you're supposed to look like.
Good to see a new face here.
You can
Between
see
you and me,
kind of the
what my
idea. The
advice,
eyes don't glow
avoid
the way that
getting
they're...
wrapped up in
Oh, wow. You
schemes.
guys have, like...
He's after the throne, and he'll kill
Why do
everyone
all
that
these
gets in
characters...
his
Oh,
way.
because they're the old plugins. Anyway, the only thing I'm trying to show off here is that their eyes do not glow the way that vampire eyes often do in default. Well, in Dawn Guard and also in some of the NPC overhauls.
In the unlikely event that I ever require
These people have super glowing eyes.
I shall find you.
Security overhaul mod. Which one is that one?
Very good. I'll just...
It's weird having base religion. So actually, that's a good time for me to kind of transition into... Here's someone whose actual stuff is done. Oh, look. Serana.
Yes?
That's not what she's supposed to look like. Although, I don't hate this. Her hair's a little weird, but that's not her, what she'll have in the final thing.
You'll be a welcome.
This guy's hair will
If I
also
may, be careful.
Othion,
Keep that
Okay,
in
I
mind.
get it, bro.
will you?
Please stop idling on this when I run into you. Can I push people out of idle animations if I run into them? Nope. I can do this, though. Whoa. I broke it. Don't do that. What is happening there? Oh, there we go. Whoa, is that what happened? So here's... That hair will likely be gone, but you kind of get the idea. Yeah, you can post links.
Until next time.
Of course. So yeah, this would be a good time to talk about kind of like my plans for my vacation and then what I'll be doing after that. So here's my cute, what's it called? MS Paint. So my plan right now, once I finish doing this NPC stuff, which I should be done with, I mean, probably by the end of today will be optimistic, but I'll be done with it very soon. My plan then is to build out the Wabbajack file. And as soon as I have a working Wabbajack file and I can guarantee that the file is working and the team's been able to download it and they're going to be able to test it and so on and so forth, that is when I'm going to be going on vacation. And the plan is basically to be away for like about a month. It's going to work out pretty nicely, I think. I'm going to be taking some time off for myself, and then my wife and I, oh, what happened? We had to delete a message. Oopsie. Yeah, it's kind of like a spring break, right? So my wife and I have deferred our honeymoon for, a couple of years now, just because we were going to, like our original plan was to honeymoon. We got married in late 2019, right? Oh, well, you can post links. Like, you can post links to mods, as long as they're, like, Nexus mods and stuff. I don't mind that. As long as they're not certain websites, we'll say. Even, like, Lover's Lab, I don't care necessarily. It's just certain websites that we all know, or I'm not okay with. We are going to be going on our actual honeymoon in, like, late April, right? No, AFK mods is fine. AFK, it's the other one. Oh, what is security overhaul again? I don't even remember. Anyway, so my plan is to kind of take time off before that and then go straight into that. It should work out really nicely, and that'll give me about like a month off, which will be yes, totally. I do know about that one. Should be pretty nice. So what I'm gonna try and do, I'm going to be taking probably about 2 weeks off just to kind of like chillax and like recalibrate my fucking life. And during that time, the team will have the install or the update build. They're going to be testing it. They're going to be playing with it. During that time, what I'm thinking I'm going to do, I don't want you guys to have to wait the whole last month for the release. I'm not completely opposed to it, because please understand that the one thing I really cannot do is like release the update and then just completely fuck off back to vacation, right? Because whenever any release happens, like, you have to be around for at least a little bit in order to make sure that everything's working properly, that there aren't any problems that you didn't anticipate, yada yada yada. You know how software dev works. So with that in mind, with the timing, if I manage to kind of get everything done the way that I hope, and take the next couple weeks off, there would be a little window in there in which I could kind of come back off of vacation to make this release, if it's working the way that it's supposed to. And this is not a guaranteed release time frame or anything. This is just kind of like the ballpark plan. That should be possible, and then that way you guys would get the release before we leave for Europe. However, I cannot guarantee that that's what we'll end up doing. That would be like the perfect world scenario, right? There is a very realistic chance that you guys will not get your hands on this update until after I get back from like the full vacation. And I will let you know what the case is, and I am trying really hard to make sure you can get it in your hands beforehand, but I do want to avoid a scenario in which I just release and then am not available for support or for the team to like fix things and whatever. So whenever the release happens, it will have to happen at a point in which I am available to to do stuff. And I'll be honest with you guys, yeah, exactly, Pars. Like, I've been working just really, really hard on this stuff for a very long time, and you know that I love it. It's my passion project. It really is something I love to do. But I'm very tired. I'm very burnt out. I need a break, and it needs to be sizable. And I'm gonna be working to, like Pars says here, prioritize myself and my family. So if that means releasing it after the vacation is completely over, so be it. If I can get away with kind of releasing it right in the middle, if we can confirm that it's chill, great. But the priority will be this kind of rest time, because I don't think I've taken a vacation in like 2 years, and I've definitely, what I need to do, and this is kind of personal, it has nothing to do with you guys. I don't know how interesting this is for anyone who kind of works for themselves or whatever. It's kind of interesting, I suppose, but it's very hard when you don't have kind of the natural boundaries that are set by a normal 9 to 5. I don't mean to complain here, because it's wonderful to kind of dictate your own time. Of course, it's like the dream for people, but it is hard sometimes, at least for me, to set reasonable like work boundaries, right? So what can end up happening, especially when you have like a deadline you're trying to hit, you just work like 14-hour days, like over and over and over, right? And then you eventually burn out, and you're just like, you turn into a puddle. But yeah, that's the plan. My whole plan for after this too, I'm trying to like get my balance in order, get my life in order, and figure out how best to continue development with a better sense of balance, right? But that's my problem. We'll figure it out. And that kind of brings me to this next point here. Update roadmap post-vacation. I guess I've kind of been talking. Oh, well, not really. And customization. This is the other big kind of feature of this update, is that with this hotfix, we are going to, whenever it releases, whatever time that may be, we are going to first we're going to confirm that everything's, A-okay, right? And that it's like a stable base and we haven't missed anything that is people are having problems installing or whatever. And then we are going to officially reopen the kind of customization that we allowed on Ultimate Skyrim back in the day. I say allowed as though we can stop you. I mean, obviously anyone's going to, do whatever you want with your game. But we'll be providing actual like official resources that will help people to take my pants off because it's hot. Help people to kind of, if they want, they can start adding stuff to their game. Of course, adding anything will void your support, since we, can't spend time supporting, builds, our priority has to go to users who just have the vanilla build, but we'll have all these, you know, resources and shit, right? For letting people, like, I'm going to be including in this build, we'll have the customization executables and tools, like, pre-configured and installed, like, with the thing. So yes, nor is Lizzie a miracle worker. She works so hard already. The whole team does. But so you'll be able to, like, it'll come prepackaged with Xedit. It'll become prepackaged with, like, the creation kit and with the fucking rectificator and Dindulod and Nemesis and all the stuff that you will need to kind of mess around, if that's your kind of bag. It's more for the, you know, the enthusiasts out there. And one of the big impetuses for this is that the community obviously is very passionate. One of the best ways for us to get new features faster is when users have kind of taken it upon themselves to, like, test and, like, incorporate and patch various mods, and we go, sometimes we're like, oh, that's great, it's not exactly what we're looking for this, but, you know, have fun, go nuts. And sometimes it's like, oh, that's exactly what we're looking for the build, and then we just kind of add that patch to the list, and so on and so forth. It's kind of like the beauty of cathedral modding, so to speak. And that brings us to kind of the post-vacation. What I plan to do once I'm off vacation, once we have all this stuff sorted, there's a roadmap page on the website, right? Many of you guys have seen it. Some of you have seen it. At least some of you. I don't know. Right now, it's just a work in progress page. It says, you know, partner dust kind of thing. But the roadmap is basically going to include all those little mechanical updates that I've talked about at various times. We're talking improvements to... I'll bring out the list again in my handy-dandy little notebook. But off the top of my head, we're talking, you know, the religion, standing stones. We're talking vampirism and werewolf. We're talking professions and, like, friendship mechanic depth. We're talking, like, economics things, like real estate, you know, player homes. We're talking just mechanical expansion for all these things. Yeah, going through the mod suggestions. Yes, some form of wounds mod, whether it's going to be straight up Iron Dusk wounds or if it's going to be Collins implementation of wounds, something like, there's so many different little mechanical expansions here. And what I would like to do, it kind of will depend on how quickly we manage to crank through these things, especially with the community's help. But I thought it would be kind of fun if I added like a consultant style voting thing to the Patreon, perhaps, to like incentivize people to become patrons, where I just give you like 3 choices that it could be any one of these 3, like I don't care which one wins, like they're all cool kind of thing, and like pick your favorite thing to implement, and then that'll be like next up on the list, and like that kind of prioritization. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing that yet, but I thought it might be a fun idea. Either way, the roadmap page will get this, you know, big cool update to show all the little things that we are kind of working on to continue expanding the experience, right? So you can kind of look at this hotfix update as like the solidification of like the base core platform of Wildlander as it is at release. And that will be the platform. That was why it was so important to us. That's why we've been so, you know, kind of stringent on customization thus far, at least our participation in it. We wanted to make sure that we had this rock solid base, which is not to say there aren't still little bugs and stuff here and there. Of course, you know, I'm sure that there will continue to find things and incorporate fixes into future updates, whatever. This is just addressing anything that really stood out now that we have so much additional playtesting data that we couldn't just get by ourselves before the release. So it's all about kind of crafting this very solid base, and once we have that, and once I, you know, have taken some time for myself to breathe and just kind of have some space, like Melrose says, have a pina colada on vacation, that kind of thing, then we're going to be, you know, adding more stuff and kind of using that stable base to the best of our ability. And that's the plan. Yeah, I will, Lizzie. I'll send you guys a Snapchat or an Instagram or whatever it is these days. Yeah, wounds is it's kind of like, it's something I wanted to add for a long time, to be honest with you. Just like I'm not sure quite how I'm going to add it. I do really like Collins Wrath's version of wounds, which is kind of like if any of you ever played Metal Gear Solid 3, back in the day, whenever you get like intense injuries and you had to like address them, it almost worked as like a cap, like a hard cap to some of your primary attributes, right? So like only health would only recover to a certain point, stamina only recovers to a certain point, blah blah blah, and then some other stuff, which I thought was really cool. But Iron Dusk's Wounds mod has like some additional cool complexity to it, which might be a bit much. We'll see. You know, we'll figure it out when implementation time comes. But yes, that is exactly it, Pars. So you're going to have stuff like wounds that kind of just like adds to the realism and makes it feel more like a world and kind of encourages you to find other things to do with your time. The other big component of that is obviously we're going to be giving you more things to do with your time. So in addition to like the crafting system now taking, not in this update, but in the future, it will likely take time to craft things. You'll have other ways to pass time, like with trainers and stuff will take time, and you can like do fun things with the trainers. You can study, you can research spells, you can like do all these different things that will, you know, just kind of more realistically pace the game. And of course it'll make you a lot more, what's the word, careful, I guess, just to put it simply, about how you attempt to take on the challenges that the game provides. Yeah, no vomit inducing filters, that's a big rule. Cooking, I forgot to mention that. I didn't holistically, what is all the different mechanical expansions we've got planned? There's quite a lot on here. I'll just go through them. See. Oh, location expansions. That's a big one for me personally. There's so many cool, yes, immersive, spend a few days resting up after a big fight with a dragon. Something that makes it feel impactful, you know, like, or I can't guarantee this, but I've still always wanted to put some form of defeat back into the game, right? So that it's not just, like, still, of course, with a chance of death, but a chance for you to be rescued by followers, or like, you know, if you go down in a dungeon, it's like not the end. Maybe you just get like some hella injuries and like your followers manage to drag you to safety, so you kind of wake up at the inn and have to kind of recover and lick your wounds and think about what you did wrong and that kind of thing. So all of this should kind of feed each other in like an immersive sim horizontal progression way. What do we got? Oh, location expansions. What I meant by that is like there's so many cool city. One of my favorite things to do is kit bash together various like city overhauls, right? This is another thing that I'm very particular about. There's so many city overhauls out there. I have my eye on several for each settlement. This is another thing where like the community customization, I'm sure, is going to be a fantastic resource, because having additional people working on these is going to make it go much faster. I can't guarantee that'll happen, but, you know, hopefully. And if not, whatever, that's just how it goes. But I love the idea of further expanding the cities to a more realistic scale, giving you all kinds of even more like intertwined routes than we've already got. Just, you know, bringing back some form of open cities, whether it's you know, I think Charmbarian is working on like an SKSE version of open cities, which would be amazing, but I of course can't speak for their time. And if it comes down to it, I'll use Sacroletius's wonderful I can't remember what he calls it, but he made this really ingenious mod where it essentially adds like cell transitions in the cities. So like if you jump over the wall, it's not technically open in the sense that it's in the same world space, but it'll, you know, create a loading screen that will then take you outside the city. World space transition tweaks. That's it. Thank you, Thumed. Yeah, so stuff like that, just, you know, making and like, oh, Solitude, big fucking trade capital, docks, holds stuff throughout the mountain, like all kinds of stuff for location expansions. Is there anything in the works so that any build could eventually take on Mirac? Is that only for experts? Do you mean like if you have, I mean, you're going to need to be a pretty high level no matter what your build is to take on Mirac. He's a pretty tough opponent. But other than that, sure. Oh yeah, I mean, if you get like religion, all the religion mechanics, the standing stone mechanics, the fucking what am I forgetting? Religion, standing stone, birth. No, that's standing stone. Whatever it is, you'll have a lot more build variation as well. Thank you very much, Thumed. I call it Bandits for People too, so I can start working. Oh, that's fucking great, Jay. Oh my god, I'm so happy for you, man. I was so sad when you mentioned that you lost it. I know that feeling. I just wanted to cry. That's so cool. Yes, Bandits with names. I mean, this is one of the... in fact, I would say... So, Jay's, like, primary work for a long time was helping out with the launcher, but I know that his passion is adding features. And I don't know, Jay, if you are okay with me talking about... We'll call it Project X that you've been working on. I shouldn't call it that. That makes me think of, like, American History X. Project T is what I'm going to call it. Okay, cool. So... Jay has been what I was going to say is that once the launcher was, more sorted and we kind of got it, locked down, Jay transitioned back into what I think your biggest passion was, which is gameplay mods, right? So we have a couple of Jay's gameplay mods in already. He's been working on some other ones. One of them is very exciting. Oh, you're releasing it today. Okay, well, there you go. So Jay has been working on a proper transmogrification mod that has you use the Ethereum Forge to turn your gear into other gear, and transmogrification has obviously been like a holy grail for many modders, including myself. There are solutions out there for I didn't touch the computer in a while. There are solutions out there that are, attempt to solve this issue in one way or another with varying success. Some of them are very cool. None of them, at least as far as I know, have successfully implemented this style of transmogrification in like an actual in-game universe justified way, right? Like some of them, you have like simple outfit system, which is a really cool mod, but it works entirely through like an out-of-game MCM and this kind of thing. So it's really, really cool. Very excited about that. And it's an example of how kind of with these, with all of us working on different stuff, it naturally makes gameplay features come faster. You mean my dual wield that uses a fork and table knife can't kill a dragon? Likely not, but you know what? Never say never. I would like to give staves more interesting mechanics, though. Really just add mechanical depth to everything. What do we got here? So we got location expansions. That one's pretty obvious. Spells. So we got expanded spells, different spell learning mechanics, and I still have like a soft spot for spell siphon. I always thought that was such an interesting style of spell casting, such an interesting mod. I was wondering if we can't like incorporate that in there. Yes, expanded grimoire for sure. That one's like very, very likely if I had to guess. Oh yeah, professions, if I'm honest with you, is probably gonna be the first thing I prioritize, because I think it's the biggest thing missing from like the life sim puzzle at the moment. Or it's probably like there's other things missing, but it's like the most impactful thing versus the implementation time that is missing. So we got jobs, reputation, and friendship mechanics. Those ones are very important to me. The religion and standing stones are also very important to me, because then we're talking about not necessarily the life sim part, but we're talking about like kind of like the personal character build and variety. I would say in order of importance, the most important things to me are like jobs, reputation, friendship. Maybe actually just do jobs, reputation, expansion of the character creation mechanics with additional, let's call this character creation, but I want to add, either create something similar to, or just straight up add dealing with backstories. If y'all have seen dealing with backstories, it's literally, it's as if someone reached into my brain and said, hey, how would you want something like this to be done? And then this author just created the coolest fucking system you've ever seen for creating your character, specifically creating their backstory, like what got them to where the game starts, right? So it's just, in fact, here, let me just show it off on stream, because it's just the coolest thing you've ever seen. I'll just kind of show off like the I guess we can just read it, or like you guys can read it. I'll just leave it up on screen. I'll explain it. It's like it kind of asks you questions, like walks you through and there's a lot of features here that some of them probably we would prune down, because it has like this whole like time passing mechanic where you can become like old in the game world, like all this stuff. But primarily what we're looking at is like the character creation and the way that you can kind of answer questions about your upbringing, like your childhood and your adolescence and like your early adulthood, and depending on how old your character is. And you get mechanical kind of bonuses, malices, and like changes, you know. So it's basically like the fleshed out version of like the class selection that's currently in the game, which is just kind of like something that we threw together with diverse character creation. It's obviously wonderful, but saying like, oh, up to this point I've been an agent, I've been a warrior. That's cool. It's obviously, if I pick warrior as my starting class, then the presumption is that I've become a warrior in the time previous before I started the game's events. But of course, there's so much more room for that. And the idea of asking, it's almost like an internet quiz, or like the Pottermore quiz, where it's like, who were you before all of this? Like, what was your childhood like? What did you spend your time doing? Was it happy, sad? What kind of relationship did you have with your parents and your siblings? Did you have any siblings? Blah, blah, blah. All this stuff that kind of informs, all the stuff that informs who you are as a person IRL kind of has this mechanical analog within this system. So this, I'm absolutely in love with it. It's role-playing like crazy. It is the kind of shit where, like, I know that role-playing does not come naturally to everyone, so I love things like this because they're helping players. I've said this a million times. They're helping players really step into, like, the mind of their character, really feel like they're playing that role, really make you feel like Batman. You know what I mean? It's so cool. And of course, like, if we're trying to transform this into an actual role-playing game, right, like as Pars says, what is more important than, like, at least for me, the kind of games that I love, it's like I want to be making meaningful choices about my character that will affect how my character is and plays, like, the second I start the game. You know what I mean? And we already have that a little. We have people making meaningful choices about their class and their birth sign and their, you know, yada yada. But we can go so much further than that, and I'm really excited about this. So this I would put it right underneath jobs and reputation. And then we got friendship, we got religion mechanics, we got the standing stones and birth signs, right? Oof, ouch, my death by preventable diseases. Really makes you feel like a peasant in the Dark Ages. Yes. What else we got? Oh, build your own home anywhere. That's, of course, a big one. Bringing back, you know, like a solid, like, settlement building type thing, one way or another. Non-lethal combat options. That's a big one as well. That's very much more life sim. We got cooking, we got fishing, we got, one of my notes just says Nox Crab. Nox Crab is a Requiem mod author who just adds a bunch of cool stuff to Requiem. And of course the mod authors for religion, like SNBCJ for like religion, and Standing Stones. Like, there's all kinds of incredible Requiem mod authors out there. Another hold needs your help. Let me mark it on your map. Yeah, maybe. See about that stuff. But maybe, I mean, the Civil War is such a mess. It's so difficult. I've not, like, difficult to mod, that is. I know that there's kind of like some new hotness mods in the vein of expanding the Civil War. I've not tested any of them myself yet, so I can't make any promises. But I do have the Civil War on here. Don't I? I have so many things on here. Do I not? Okay, well, I can write it down. Just so you guys know. Yeah, Civil War, it almost literally does not work. Like, as is vanilla. Say, Civil War. It's got so much potential. I think it can be okay. You just have to put yourself in a certain mindset where you're okay with extreme wonkiness. You know what I mean? What else we got? So cooking, fishing, vampirism. So vampirism. Oh, you know another big one? Vampirism and werewolf, of course. And you kind of lump those in together. Yeah, I'm being generous there. It does work 1% of the time. Yeah, not those kinds of settlements, thankfully. Although I would love the concept of, like, well, I mean, we're kind of adding this, but so I have here additional, like, dynamic patrols and, you know, various NPCs that go out. More I know we have a lot, or like a fair amount of NPCs in the game world that are kind of like going about doing their own thing. But I want more, and I want deeper. That's my plan. There's unfortunately not a way to catch fish in the current build, Melro. Probably what I'm going to do, because we're not adding fishing back. Well, you know what? Okay. This qualifies as scope creep, so probably I have one of two things I'm going to do. Either I'm going to full-on add that new fishing mod into this, just because it's like a feature that we advertise, it just doesn't work right now. Or I'm going to let you guys catch fish with your hands again. Yeah, but salmon's like the only one that you can pick up right now. Yeah, I would love to bring back Undeath, Emmons Field. That's one of like the quest mods that I actually would bring back as of now. Not to say there aren't other quest mods that I would add, but those are I'm picky about that too. I'm probably most picky about quest mods, the pickiest about quest mods versus like any other element of the game. Just because quest mods require, you know what's really hard? Arguably the hardest thing, or like maybe not the hardest thing, but it's like it's really tough to do, right? It's apples and oranges comparing different game dev disciplines, or like most things, but writing is hard. Level design is hard. And just like the thing about quest mods is that it requires all of it, right? It requires like two of the hardest disciplines, is writing and level design. You also need solid programming. You need to understand, like, if you're adding like, you know, something like a new world space and there's going to be NPCs, you got to give them schedules, you got to give them places to live, you got to make a believable setting, you got to do all this stuff, and it's really tough to do well. And this is all, you know, yes, voice acting. Sorry, that's the what I forgot to mention. Thank you, Monique. It's hard. It's most modders are hobbyists. They are sometimes professional game devs who are modding in their spare time for fun. Oftentimes they are not professional game devs who are simply doing their best out of passion, and that's amazing. And like, I mean, what is modding? Modding is so many things, but for many of us, modding is a great way to kind of hone your dev skills if you're trying to transition to something like game dev, whatever. But all of that is to say that putting together something like a cogent, coherent quest mod is among the hardest things you can do, and that is often reflected in the quest mods we see. It's very hard to make those feel like a seamless part of, you know, the existing polished experience. So it's tough. Hey, Kane-Do, how you doing? Either there's fishing or Argonians keep their jobs in Riften, and I approve either way. Oh, I would love to have a random dungeon generator, by the way, or like even like a combat like generator, and yes, more dungeons. So you got all this stuff. I have more dungeons or like locations. We'll say dungeons on there. There really is so much potential here. What else we got? We got carry weight. That's a big one. Animations. Animations is gonna be a fun one. I have been. See, I'm not even kidding. What I would like, just like how cool would it be to have like an endless dungeon, right? Like it maybe could just be one area of the world, and we'd of course come up with some cool way to justify it. Hey, Praxis, thank you for 9 months. Also, Mr. Field. Oh no, I got that one. Well, thank you anyway, Mr. Fieldbird, if you're still there. Having an endless dungeon, something that just you guys know I'm all about the role playing. I'm all about the life sim. I'm not a meta gamer at my core. However, yes, something like the Chalice dungeons from Bloodborne. I'm not a meta gamer at my core, and I would argue that Wildlander is much more targeted, and built for, like role players. However, when I'm in a metagaming, min-maxing mood, I'm feeling it. I would love to have a way to really just test the limits of my build, like ARPG style. I want to go through an endless fucking dungeon or a roguelike dungeon. I want to fight against all the cool, unique enemy types that we got in the game in like interesting scenarios, maybe even like cool arenas with like interesting traps and all kinds of shit. I want to be able to do, of course I say this like, yeah, of course, like this sounds great. Requiem, because Requiem can be very metagame heavy when you get into especially like the late mid game. I would say like the late mid game is where you really have to start knowing what the fuck's up with your build in order to progress for sure. And then the late game, you really need to know what the fuck, you know what I mean? Like you very much can like hit walls that you will need to be mechanically savvy in order to surpass, which is, you know, you could argue that's like metagaming. And I like a certain degree of that, right? And I would love, you know, there actually is, Melloro, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. There's a lot of underwater loot in there right now, actually. Got to check it out. You might be able to find some. There's actually quite a lot of underwater loot. Yes, people don't realize is. You can find it. There's don't know. I won't say any more. Secrets. What else we got? Oh, okay. The adjustments to sneaking, there's like been some really cool shit in that sphere that we gotta add in there. Oh, but yeah, so I started to say animations. I'm so looking forward to like animations, and what I mean by animations is generally like just better looking versions of what we currently have, which is pretty vanilla Skyrim. Like all we really use right now for animations is like immersive animations, which is very vanilla. I'm not super like, let's make the crazy third person Sky SA combat. I think that shit is awesome. Let me be clear in saying that. But one of the things that's kind of important to me from a design perspective is like parity between first person and third person. It seems like a lot of those mods are kind of geared towards like you play almost exclusively in third person, right? So what I'm more talking about, I'm talking about your Vannergan animations. I'm talking about your just like making the walking, running, slashing, rolling, sneaking, like just make the animations a bit better overall, give them like that level of 2022 polish and improvement, right? That's like mostly what I'm talking about in terms of animations. I'm not opposed to like some combat animations too, and things like, I guess like archery gameplay overhaul would qualify as like a combat animations and what. Yeah, EVG conditional idle. That one, do we actually have that in there? Yeah, EVG conditional idles. No, we do not. Okay, well that one's been on the list for like forever. I've just been waiting for the animation overhaul update. Oh, seasons. That needs to be on here now because that didn't exist when I wrote this. I'm literally running out of space. We got, oh, I gotta cross this out because this one actually doesn't have anything to do with that. Hold on. I go, what did I just say? Seasons. Whoa. I'm gonna put it in all caps because we can do seasons now, which is so cool. Yeah, see, I actively play in both first and third. I might be weird that way, but I usually what I do, I like to explore the world. Yeah, so like my thing is that I find it much more immersive. Like here's what I like to do. I like to go to like, let's go to Riverwood. Let me turn on my gamepad. I like to explore the world with my gamepad, my handy dandy gamepad in third person. Please, Malwarebytes, leave me alone. I'm sorry, I have not paid. But when I am in a combat scenario, right? Oh, is this dead? Is it? Yep, it is. Gosh darn it. Hold on. When I am in a combat scenario, I am usually, dropped it, more comfortable in first person. It's just kind of like much more natural for me, right? Is this one synced with my Bluetooth? No, it is not. Okay, I'm gonna sync it. I gotta wait for it to stop doing this. When I am like, okay, I'm actually trying really hard not to die, then usually what I will do is I'll switch over to mouse and keyboard, and I will play in first person. Alright, that's syncing. Come on, baby. You got it. There we go. We're in. So I like to like explore the world like this, right? Kind of analog style. Oh, I forgot I'm really fast right now. And then player.force I have speed molt. No. Guys, I think my eyes are starting to fail. Let's make it 1 in 10. Like, my eyes have just been really weird lately. I gotta go to the eye doctor. Hello. Mercurio, that seam on your head is looking mighty noticeable, my friend. Yeah, so I like to be in third person. How do I... There we go. Oh, I gotta get the TDM update for the controller dead zone. And, like, explore this way, right? Or, like, I really like the walking animations, and just having analog movement is great in third person, especially with true directional movement. It just feels very immersive to me. GTA Franklin. Yeah, I could be just tired. Yes, haircut. But this is like my preferred way to like explore the world. It's almost like Breath of the Wild style. This is why I tried so hard to make a third-person camera that's, you know, really good and like fits very naturally. But when I'm in combat, you best believe I am. Sometimes I'll stay in third person and I'll stay with the gamepad because we have, you know, like what's it called? The lock-on camera and all that stuff. But yes, but for me it's like, because I offer both of them, if first person and third person combat are like a little bit different, I don't mind so much, right? But if they are going to be like very different, I'd probably not be stoked about it. I'm just gonna wander around in Riverwood. Oh, what else? Here, let me finish reading these off. You guys can enjoy the Riverwood scenery for a moment. Just so you get like a full... Okay, so I said animations. Defeat was on there. I mentioned that. Carry weight, that's a big one. I have quest mods listed here too. Usable clutter, that's like a small one, but we have a lot of usable clutter already, but I want to be able to bash someone with a bucket, you know what I mean, if I want to. Immersive sim. What do we got? Oh, capturing locations or being able to utilize locations for like different things. That's kind of like your Lawbringer or your there's another one, I can't remember what it's called. Something Fort Takeovers Framework, that's what it's called. So additional dynamic patrols, I mentioned that. Seasons, we got oh, just like adding various like tavern mercenaries so you can continue to hire people. That would come with like a follower death mechanic. I'm gonna actually write that part down. Say plus follower death. Plus follower death. Yes, of course. Immersive sims are defined by our ability to crawl through air vents. It's true. The more air vents there are, the more immersive and sim it is. We got Civil War, dungeons, and oh yeah, stress/morale system. That was a big one. That's like something I wanted to have a lot of fun with. And then sneak tools. You know, rope arrows, fucking douse fires at a distance, air things. Yes. Telekinesis, of course. Yep. So, I mean, that's basically it. Y'all know what it is. And, yeah, so this is all, you know, suffice to say, we got passion in spades between myself and the team and the user base. And I'm really excited for all that shit. But I do need a break. And that's what I'm going to be taking very soon. And I will keep you guys in the loop as to whether or not I'm going to, you know, do like a mid-break release or if I'm going to wait till the very end. I cannot guarantee either outcome, but I promise I will keep you all in the loop. You will know as much as I do. I'm going to go over to Lake Ilnata. And then, that's actually pretty good timing. Third person. Yes, I agree, Praxis. There's also, like, you know, there's some really cool mods for first person specifically. Like, what is the name of that one? Size Matters. Very cool. How about that, eh? Getting some light out. Yeah, I was going to say that we're getting pretty close to 2, which is going to be my sign off. I actually do have that installed already, Lizzie. This is with it installed. Do you still seem too bright to you? there would be some light refraction. Well, this is okay. This is with water for E and B, which incorporates the same fixes. I don't think they're too bad. That's pretty realistic to me. Gotta see what they would look like. We need like rain. C. What is it? C221A? No. Does anyone remember the storms? No, I can't remember. Yeah, well, that's the other thing too. Is like with water for E and B, you gotta be kind of careful because it just kind of like for compatibility. That looks pretty realistic to me. It's supposed to have that fix incorporated, but water for E and B is also always getting updated, so I can always check. It's a pretty bright day today. It's nice and clear and getting that galaxy. I can't. What is the heckin' water weather code? Wait, no. I remember. C8220. I think that's it. I think that one's storm. Yeah, that's rain. Oh, this is a weird one. So you can see there the water. It's still maybe a little bright, but not too bad. I think much better than before, at the very least. Yeah, rain. This is like the default vanilla storm, too. Yeah, not easily, Meloro. That's what I would say. But let's do. What about snowstorm? These are like vanilla snowstorms. I don't know if the weather's actually like as these at all. Cold, chilly. Whoa, I just kicked the shit out of a stone. Whoa. Getting snowy. Oh yeah, it's great, right? It's like, whoa. What's up, brother? Oh, whoops, I forgot. Pickpocketing. Hello.
All right.
See ya. Can I warm up by your fire, please? Thank you. Hello. Just gotta change those controls.
Yes?
What's up, dude? Pardon me, I have a question for you guys. So I'm basically gonna be taking off pretty quick here. So I was gonna stop at 2 so I can get back to work and get all that stuff done. Mercurio, you're standing a bit close to me there, brother. I would please. In fact, you know what?
Behind you.
I'd like to adjust your tactics. Let's talk about how closely you follow me. Why don't you
I understand.
Why don't you take a step back?
You lead, I'll follow.
I don't actually know that, Meloro. They are, well, sort of. Yeah, they're supposed to be the holes in Aetherius. It's like literally holes left when the, what is it, the Et Ada left Mundus or whatever it is. Wow, it's kind of hard to see now. Give me that, hold on. Give me the good weather. Ooh, Aurora! So yeah, the stars are literally supposed to be holes in the sky. I don't know if that's true or not. Who can say? Rumor has it there were once space stations on the moons as well. I can't say that for sure either. But anyway, that's pretty much going to bring us to the end of the stream. Just wanted to cover all that stuff with you guys. If you have any additional questions for me right now that I have not answered, please feel free to, levy them this way. I'll kind of give some time for that, and I'll also check in. I'm just going to take in this beautiful scenery. If any questions come in, and I'm also going to check to see who's available to raid. Oh man, I talked a lot for 2 hours. I had to drink more water. Ooh. What's up, bud?
Watch what you're doing.
Sorry. This is, you see this like slight jittering? I think that's due to the lack of dead zone. I believe the newest True Directional Movement update actually has like a solution for that. Here you can see the distant water being much more normal. What is my favorite color? Why don't you guys guess? How about this? I'll give you a poll. Poll. No, that's not chat. I'm going to give you 5 choices because that's as many as I can do. Poll. Say question. What fave color? Say blue, purple, green, red, and yellow. I guess black is also okay. It's not black. Duration 1 minute. Have fun. The Magna Gi. That's what I said at a duh. I don't know what happened to my lore wisdom. Do I know the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? Do you know? Can I guess? What is that, Lizzie? Whoa, is that so? I didn't know that either. I know Pellinol's gnarly. Let's go swimming. It was beautiful swimming animation. It's not great. Oh, no. What is that, like a Standing Stones model of some kind? Hold on a second. Since we're here, true directional movement. General. Well, I really need to update it. No. Oh shit, we got a tie between blue and green. It's blue. Blue is my favorite color. Oh yeah, well, that was a good call, Meloro, because that is correct. Blue is my favorite color. I'm really original. Guess what my favorite number is? It's 7. Really, really original. Camera. Maybe it's target lock I need to... Oopsie. Target lock I need to look at. Toggle target lock key. Toggle reset. No. Target lock with POV gamepad. Actually, if I don't have this, then how does it work? How does target lock? I'm just gonna turn that off for now. What did I assign it to? Oops. Oh, it's right. Okay, cool. Well, there you go. Oops. Oh yeah, we got wait, what?
What was that?
What did I? What is? Hold on. Is something trying to kill me? No, please. I don't. I remember. There we go. Ow. Oh no, I have. Okay, I'm good. Marcurio, go nuts. You get out of here. What did I? It's not supposed to be. Hold on. Help. Tools. No file. No view. This is the new interface for equipment overhaul, by the way. Or immerse. What is it called? Not equipment overhaul. It's what the old mod's called. My brain's not working. You guys will know what I'm talking about. Someone will know in chat. Yeah, Michael Kirkbride is crazy. Preset filter. Where is the actor? Tools, help, settings. Here we go. Display as UI style. Yes. Localization. Where's the? What? I thought I changed this. Well, whatever. No, this actually needs to be left control file save. Save. Oh, maybe that's what it was. So left control and backspace will open up that interface.
Is someone there?
Whoa. Go, Marcurio. I believe in you. Oh, I forgot that Y is my... God, I'm so used to Elden Ring now. Bro, who are you going after? Let's go. Let's go get him. Guys, look at this. How is this like hella dark on your screen? Immersion. I'm gonna stop talking for like a moment here. Sneaking through the forest. Oh. Oh. Whoa. It's ASMR. This is why I play with gamepad with third person, by the way. The analog movement is the best. Mercurio, shh. I think he just tried to say a voice line, but he didn't say it because we're sneaking. Imagine I just shouted into the mic. That'd be horrible. I would never do that. Covered in blood. This lady. Why is everyone's hair? Oh, I guess because we don't have the textures?
I'm just a poor old woman, dear. No need to trouble
Your nose
yourself.
clipping through your mask.
Huh?
Oh, what'd you find? What'd you find, bro? You're just getting ready. He sees something. What is that? Bro, what do you got? What is it? What does he... Did he just scare off the wolf? Oh, that's another thing I need to... There needs to be a mod where wolves and other animals, like, actually fuck off when they're scared. Like, instead of just going to, like, a distance away and then just hanging out there, right? Hey, look at that water. Hey, look, the LODs are fixed, baby. Sick. Look, I'll prove it, too. Whoop. Let's set it to... This will be my last thing. Let's get a nice... You guys want a sunrise? I can't remember offhand, Meloro, but maybe. I need to add that back if they're not. Let's go set game out. Actually, let's do this. Set time scale to 100. The sky's moving. What time's it right now? I don't know. What was it? Oh, no. It's going to take way too long. Okay. Set time scale to 100 and set game hour to 5? Is that early enough? Ooh, purple aurora. Okay, we're getting a bit of a sunrise here. This will be... We'll sign off. Ugh, Elden Ring controls. What are you guys doing over there? Here comes the sun. Doo -doo -doo -doo. Ooh. Sun rises in the west. A nice, beautiful sunrise over Lake Ilinalta? There's too many I's and L's in the name of this lake. I can never remember. How about that distant water, eh? I told you I fixed it. Is the east? I thought it was the east, but this is the west. Right? Yeah, this is west. Wait, is the sun coming from over there? I don't know. Oh, yeah, it must be, because that's why it's being lit up over there. Okay, it rises in the east. Okay, I just got... What is it called? High Hrothgard, Throat of the World's blocking it. Oh. I had a chance to drop him from any chest. I'm ready to be inside joke and dev attached copium. Oh, it's getting pretty. Look at that beautiful forest. Whoa. Whoa! Boom. You know why I think that happens? So we have the physics are no longer tied to like the 60 FPS. However, what I've heard happens is that on single... Oh, there's the sun. The spawn points. Like, enemies will spawn on like the same spawn point, and then the collision, they don't know where to go. So they go, whoop, and they just fly up in the air. There we go. There's the sunrise. On our beautiful Lake Ilinalta. Yeah, everyone, can we get a big round of applause? A true Skyrim morning. A big round of applause, first of all, for that wolf, for giving its life for our entertainment. And second of all, to Shessen and everyone who has worked on Dindulad, because, like, are you fucking kidding me with this? These distant LODs? Like, it's ridiculous. Right? Nuts. Wow, it's too bright. Yep, there you go. It's Skyrim. All right, y'all. Well, it's a good time to go ahead and end it, I think. Thank you so much for joining me. You know I appreciate it. I really do. I hope that, you know, this was enlightening, elucidatory. And, you know, I should be, well, okay, it depends. If straight up, if I manage to finish this stuff and I go on vacation, I'll make like a news post about it so you won't, you know, you'll know what's up. But I probably will not be streaming on vacation. So this actually might be the last time I see you guys in a while. If so, I hope that you have, you know, I'll of course like make the news post, and if we end up doing that kind of like mid-vacation release, then, you know, you'll hear from me then. I'll be around, but, you know, if I don't stream between then and now, I hope you guys have a wonderful month. I hope you've been having a wonderful month and a wonderful year. And I really appreciate all of your support and your interest in the project. It really does mean the world to me. And the team, I know as well, like, you know, I think I can speak for all of us when I say that we're all very happy and humbled to be able to work on the project. And I can speak for myself personally when I say that I owe the team a tremendous debt. And yeah, I really appreciate it, y'all, and I hope you've been having a good time, and I promise I'll be working hard to get you that release ASAP, and I promise I will also work hard to enjoy my break, because I think, and we've talked about this before, it is a certain, you know, it's like you gotta take care of yourself. That's like an effort of its own sort. Anyway, y'all know the drill. You know what I'm talking about. I won't bore you with the details. Let's go ahead and find someone that we can raid. Who do we got? Dang. I think today, as far as the Skyrim... Oh, no, let me mute myself here. I think as far as the Skyrim family goes, I only see one person, and it's got to be Rebel's Eyes, right? Our boy Kyle, Sky Oblivion. Y'all know who he is. You know him, you love him. Let's go ahead and give him a raid. The chosen one. Rebel's Eyes. Oh yes, Umbrella immediately makes a vacation more vacation. I think we can all agree. Perfect. All right, y'all. I really appreciate it. Again, I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll keep you in the loop. But if I don't see you again, then I'll see you, you know, in a month from now. And I really appreciate it all. I really do. All right, let's go ahead and get this raid on the way. Goodbye, everybody. Enjoy. Bye-bye. Ooh. Bye, VOD viewers. It's just you and me now.
Oh, you know what I just remembered as well is that one of the last
See you next time.